Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a Bernese Mountain Dog. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a cup, a lid, or anything else with a circular edge. To the left, draw a smaller circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. Draw this circle about 2/3 the size of the first circle. Don't place the circles far apart or the body will be too long. On the top right side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle as well. Draw this circle about 1/3 the size of the first circle. The edges of the circles should touch. Inside the head circle, draw a curved horizontal line. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later on. On the top right side, draw a curved vertical line for another construction guide. On the bottom right side of the head, draw a small circle as a guide for the muzzle. Pay attention to the size of this circle in relation to the head. The right side of the muzzle should be outside of the head. On the top left side of the head, draw a small triangle as a guide for the ear. First, draw a line that's similar to the letter V. Then close off the shape at the top using a sloping line. Under the first circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. Bend the line near the middle to indicate a joint and then again at the bottom to indicate the foot. To the right, draw another angled line as a guide for the other front leg. Bend the line a couple of times to indicate the joint and foot. Under the circle on the left, draw another long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. The line should bend to the left at the top and then angle back to the right at the bottom. To the right, draw another angled line as a guide for the other hind leg. Bend the line to indicate the joints and the foot. Connect the head to the body using short lines to create the guide for the neck. The shape of the neck should be wide. Connect the body circles using horizontal lines to finish the guide for the torso. On the left side of the body, draw a long sloping line as a guide for the tail. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch 2 small circles for the eyes. Place the eyes on top of the horizontal construction guide and on either side of the vertical guide. When you get the sizes and positions of the eyes right, darken the shapes. Draw a small angled line on the left side of the eye on the left to create the outer corner of the eye. The top part of the eye should slope down on the left side. Darken the circle for the eyeball. Add another small angled line on the right side for the inner corner of the eye. Draw a few short lines for creases. Darken the circle on the right to create the other eye. This eye should be slightly smaller than the first eye because the head is turned. Draw a short line at the top for the eyelid and an angled line at the bottom for the inner corner of the eye. Inside each eye, off to the side, draw tiny circles for highlights. In the middle of each eye, draw a small circle and shade it in for the pupils. Don't overlap the tiny highlight circles as you draw the pupils. Add a few short strokes above the eyes for fur. Inside the muzzle, on the top right side, lightly sketch a small circle for the nose. When you get the size and position of the nose right, darken the shape. Draw a curved line on the left side for the first nostril. Make the right side of the nostril thick and dark. Draw a couple of short curved lines along the bottom of the circle for the bottom edge of the nose. Draw a small angled line at the bottom to make the bottom of the nose pointy. On the right side, draw a couple of short curved lines for the other nostril. Darken the top edge of the circle. Add a few short strokes at the top for a furry texture. Under the nose, draw a line that curves to the left for the first part of the mouth. Extend the line to the left so that it's outside of the initial circle. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Draw a shorter line on the right side to finish the shape of the mouth. Draw a curved vertical line on the right side for the front part of the muzzle. Draw the line along the path of the initial circle. Under the mouth, draw a couple of short curved lines for the chin. Draw a longer curved line on the left side for the loose skin. Under the chin, draw another curved line for the loose skin on the other side. Draw a line that connects the top part of the nose to the eye on the right for the top part of the muzzle. Use the triangle on the left side as a guide to draw the ear. Draw a few short angled lines along the top for the fur. Follow the basic path of the initial guide as you draw the shape of the ear. Draw a few short strokes on the top right side for the furry base of the ear. Draw a series of long strokes along the path of the guide to create the furry shape of the ear. Use the bigger circle as a guide to draw the rest of the head. Use short strokes as you follow the basic path of the circle to create the furry shape of the head. On the right side, curve the shape of the head around the eye to create the brow. Add a few short strokes at the bottom to create a furry texture. On the right side of the head, draw a curved line that's made up of short strokes for the other ear. Don't make this ear too wide. Most of this ear will be hidden behind the head. Use the second line from the right that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Make the top part wide and then gradually make the shape thinner toward the bottom. At the bottom, curve the shape to the right to create the foot. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the left edge of the leg for a furry texture. Make the front part of the foot round. The top part of the leg should be inside the body. Inside the foot, draw a couple of short curved lines to separate the toes. Use the line on the right as a guide to draw the other front leg. Lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Curve the leg along the path of the guideline to indicate the joints. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. The top part of this leg will be hidden behind the body. Draw a couple of short curved lines inside the foot for the toes. Use the long angled line on the far left side as a guide to draw the hind leg the same way. Just like with the front legs, first lightly sketch the shape of the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top part of the leg wide and then gradually make the shape thinner toward the bottom. When you get the shape of the hind leg right, darken the lines. Darken the left edge of the leg using a series of short strokes to create a furry texture. Draw the front part of the foot using a curved line. Bend the shape of the leg along the guideline to create the joints. Inside the foot, draw a couple of short curved lines to separate the toes. Use the line on the right as a guide to draw the other hind leg. Sketch the leg lightly around the guide and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. The top part of this leg will be hidden behind the first hind leg and the body. Use short strokes along the left edge for a furry texture. Inside the foot, draw the toes using a couple of short curved lines. Now use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Use short strokes as you darken the lines to create a furry texture. Use longer strokes when you darken the underside of the body. Use the sloping line on the left as a guide to draw the tail. Draw the shape of the tail around the guideline. Make the shape of the tail wavy. Use a series of short strokes to create a furry texture on the tip of the tail. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines, it's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Draw a few lines around the muzzle and on the forehead to create the coat pattern. Draw a few more lines along the chest and on the bottoms of the feet and tail for more of the coat pattern. Leave a couple of spots blank above the eyes. Shade the main part of the coat using a dark value. Leave a strip on the forehead and the front part of the muzzle blank for the white fur. Shade the nose using a dark value, but use a lighter value along the top edge for a highlight. On the body, leave the chest, the feet, and the tip of the tail blank for white fur. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. Add a few dark sections along the back for the creases on the fur. As you shade, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur. Use a slightly lighter value throughout the body to create highlights. Use a medium value on the muzzle and on the bottom sections of the legs for the rest of the coat pattern. If you have a pet Bernese Mountain Dog, try to duplicate its coat pattern on your drawing. Use a lighter value throughout the body to create some shadows. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the Bernese Mountain Dog. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.